The time is now. I am going to step up my game and performances are going to improve because it is time to pick round 7 of the AFL. Let's make it clear, round 6 was an absolute massacre. It was a massacre, and it was a massacre for quite a few people. We're going to see as we go on. So on Thursday it started off at the Gabba, Broncos versus Collingwood, and let's just be straight here. If you picked Collingwood, you were in the minority, just like a lot of picks this week, and you would have got it right. 88% of us got it wrong because I did Lions by 18 and they got whooped, which is a real shock with how they've been playing. I know there's been issues, although they were undefeated, but they really, really showed, and Collingwood ripped them apart and won by 52, so nothing for me there. Then Friday, it was North versus Carlton, and I did get it correct. No one got anywhere near this because Carlton won by 82. Insane. Where have they been so far this season? Well, that is their second win of the season, and they really, really did come alive against a North team who, once again, actually, wasn't awful on the scoreboard. It could have been worse. I get 1 point for the result. Next, West Coast versus Essendon, and this was a very, very tight game in the end. And I think if you were that 5% that went for West Coast, you were thinking, they could be in for their first win of the season. They did not. I did Essendon by 50. They won by 2. They hung on right at the end. So 1 point for the win on that one. Then Melbourne decided to show up. They have finally shown up and they get their first win on the board. Maybe this is a sign of what they can do. There is definitely 2 people that got this bang on the money because Melbourne won by 10, but only 7%. I get absolutely nothing because Melbourne have given no reason to pick them. Maybe it will change now. We will see. Okay, next one was Crows versus Giants, and wow, this was a low-scoring game. It was like the AFLW, wasn't it? It was like the women playing with this low scoring. I did Giants by 6, and they lost by 18, but it just boring. Look, AFL is known for its high scoring. This was not one of those games. Now, whether or not you want to say Crows tactically were simply the better team and won a tactical game, maybe. But what matters is I got absolutely nothing on the board. Next one was Richmond versus Gold Coast, and another unexpected result here. I do think Gold Coast have been doing better than they are on paper, but to lose to Richmond was a little bit of a kicker, I think, because Richmond have not been playing well. As you can see, 3% went for Richmond. This is just insane. Just an insane week of results. I get nothing, as well as a lot of people get nothing. Then Sydney versus Port, and how we lost this. How Sydney lost, I have no idea. I think 17 behinds we got. It was a disgrace, to be honest. It was an absolute disgrace because we were in this game. We should have won this game. We were better than Port, but we could not get it through the 2 middle sticks and kept going through the side. It was a disgrace, an absolute disgrace, and we lost by 8. I was not happy. I was actually livid for the rest of the day. Western Bulldogs then versus Saints. I get the correct result and a huge win again. I thought it could be a close-ish game. I did Western Bulldogs by 10 and they won by 71. So I get the point for the result, and that is it. Then we did have another very, very close game because on Easter Monday, we had Cats versus Hawthorn. Most people did go for the Cats here. I think that's probably the home advantage that Cats quite often will play well with. But you could have gone the other way. I do get a close result, being within 7, so half a point for me for the last game of the week. The leaderboard then, and the top 2 are still the same. They have not moved. That is Aussie Dylan and DJ D. 50.5 and 49.58. How do you get 5 at 0.58? I don't know. The movers in the top 10 then, Vam H down 1, Bologna up 1, Leonidas down 3, Warwick down 3, Magpie Paulie, the Golden Hat, up 71 places. Wow, you got a lot of points in that one. That must have been huge points that you managed to get. Wow, very good. Hazard up 3, Smithy up 10. Superstar up 6. Just outside, though, of the top 10, up 58 is Graham B. Right, let's see if there's any other big movers. Yin is up 14. Giants 4 is down 15. Sister Fifi up 14. Just really down 19. Up 25 and 31 is Spitiful and Topo 21. Oh, down 22, Polish Power. Up 24 is Navy Gravy. I do like that name. Sandbird up 16. Up 35, Bluey. Up 28, Doofus. Down 32 is New Elijah. Up 35 is Sharky. This is just showing there is plenty of room to still go up and down, isn't it? Rummy down 47. Ouch, that is painful. Where am I that I'm still really far down? I'm really far down. Koshin down 30. 21 down Beauregard. Jackson up 18. Guru down 33. Oh, where am I? Oh, well, Mighty Muffin. Mighty Muffin gets the wooden spoon and is down 13 places. I'm up 4 places. Oh, my God. Didn't I only get like 2.5 points? I had an absolute shocker and I'm up 4 places. That is disgraceful. Okay, let's see where everyone else finished. Having a look where you are. The movers are a little less down here. Not a lot going on. 155 so far in the league. Right, let's get with it then. Round 7, we start on Thursday. It is ANZAC round as well. So there'll be a lot of minute silences going on. A lot of poppies and things, I reckon, going on this week. Hopefully there'll be no one disrespectful like certain other previous years. Now, MCG then, it is Melbourne versus Richmond. Now, it's an interesting one because in recent years, they've been sort of opposite ends of the table. However, they are in 15th and 16th. Richmond have obviously got the first win in the first week of the season, and they have won last week. And D's picked up their first win last week. Now, looking at it, I see Melbourne showed glimpses of what they can do. They've shown their glimpses of that dominance, the strong midfield they've got with Max Gore and Petrarca and Oliver, for example, who can dominate that midfield. And I would like to think they can dominate against a Tigers younger midfield that they have. And I think that's going to be really, really key. Richmond, they're still missing Prestia. And so, you know, there's going to be some depth tested for sure. I just think Freo were in better form than the D's. D's managed to beat them. Demons at home, potentially with that, I say momentum, building momentum potentially, just to try and push up the table again. I'm going to go with the D's here. I'm going to go with the D's by a decent result. I'm going to go D's by 25. Hopefully, they will pick up some wins now. Yeah, I think they should be able to. Friday, MCG as well. It is Collingwood versus Essendon, the ANZAC game on Friday. This will be a very, very busy, probably almost sold out game. Be awesome to be there. Really, really would be. Now, Collingwood, that fantastic result against Brisbane. They are really showing what they can do. They've. I haven't been too sure about them, but actually they are getting results. Even if they're not performing as well, they are getting results with only 1 loss so far this season. Obviously, Essendon, they've won 3 straight, and they're now sitting. See, they've won 3 in a row, and they're still in 11th, but there's not a lot in the league at the moment. Sam Draper's out, Goldstein's in. I think the ruck contest will certainly favour Collingwood. When you've got Nick Dacos and De Goey, they're going to dominate that midfield for sure as well. And I think Collingwood lifts for Anzac Day games. So, historically, I've got to go with Collingwood. I'm going to go the Pies by 22 this week. Okay, next, Optus, also on Friday, is Freo versus Crows. Now, Crows, obviously, in that very, very low-scoring game last week, and Freo losing, after being on good run of form, losing against what has been a very, very poor performing Melbourne side. Looking at it, I don't know. I think Adelaide did win quite ugly against GWS. Now, whether or not you say it's more tactically inept that GWS were. I don't know. You've got Nat Fyfe and Luke Jackson who are out for Freo. Rochelle is out for Adelaide. I think Rochelle's a big loss, I think. Optus Stadium potentially gives a big home advantage, especially if it's Anzac Day. You're going to get the crowds in as well, who should be backing Freo. In football, it's like the 12th man or so, the 19th man. Sarong, Brayshaw, I think they will probably win that midfield battle as well. I think we're talking a lot about midfield, but I think at the moment, how teams are playing, the midfield is showing how important they are in a lot of these games. So I think it's a real important thing to talk about. Freo then, I'm going to go Freo. Not ridiculous. I'm going to do Freo by 12. See how that goes. Saturday comes along and it is Marvel Stadium, Saints versus Brisbane. Now, surely Brisbane will not lose 2 in a row. That will be a real kick in the teeth, losing to the Pies last week. However, Saints getting absolutely destroyed last week against Bulldogs. I would like to think, I said, Lions will bounce back. Saints, they're missing Max King and Dougal Howard. Dougal. Who calls his child Dougal, even if you are Irish? Just reminds me of Father Ted. Brisbane's forward line, simply, I don't think this is much of a competition here. Brisbane's forward line should be a lot stronger than Saints, and that should be enough against the Saints depleted defence. So Brisbane here with a decent win. Let's go Brisbane, but let's do 32. Adelaide Oval on Saturday then, it is Port versus North. Now, I still don't think Port deserved to win last week against Saints. It was against Swans. Swans, we just simply were shocking at kicking. It was crazy. North were also thrashed. But it's difficult. I think possibly Port have more forward depth than North. And they did win. They are at home. Oh, this is annoying because this is a game where North could come and win. But I'm taking into account it's at the Oval. Port do have the stronger team. Let's just quickly it's annoying because they could win, but let's go big. 45. Let's try 45 for Port. That home fortress for Port. Okay. Manuka Oval. Is it the Manuka Oval? Yeah, it doesn't look like their normal home ground. Anyway, GWS versus Bulldogs. I reckon it's probably not at Manuka. It's probably at Giants Stadium. Anyway, Giants poor last week. They really, really were. To score as little as they did was just crazy. And Bulldogs, they're lacking consistency big time. Really, really lacking consistency. They did come off a really, really good win, smashing Saints. They really did. But I just don't see much in Saints. I really don't. They're about as good as my Saints in football. Giants, they're out with Coniglio. And Dogs, they're missing Treloar. And Waitman, I like Treloar. It's going to be an interesting... Actually, I think this is going to be a really, really interesting matchup with Bontempelli in the middle versus Kelly Green. So that's going to be really interesting. And I think Toby Green is a key factor. I don't like the guy because I think he's a scumbag. But I think he'll be a key factor to winning this. And so, home advantage. Giants win here. I don't think it'll be loads. Let's do by 10. Okay, next it is Gold Coast versus Sydney at the People First Stadium on Sunday. Okay, it's got to be Sydney. It's got to be Sydney, surely. We have got to score. The players need a kick up the arse because what is going on with our kicking? I still don't think Amati's good, but it probably would have still been better him playing last week rather than being injured. Just, we've got too many players. The players we've got out as well are key players. It's really frustrating. Missing Mills, Adams, Goulden, Papley. I'm not sure if Amati's back or not. I'm not a massive fan, but we are really lacking. Oh, this is tough. This is really, really tough because I want to pick Swans. Oh, my God. The annoying thing is I'll pick Swans, Gold Coast will win. I'll pick Gold Coast and Swans will win. So screw it. I'm going with my home team. I'm going with my team. Swans by 12. Oh, that's probably going to lose. Screw it. I'm going with it because they're my team. Okay, next, MCG, Carlton versus Geelong. Geelong, 3 wins in a row now. Carlton slowly picking up with their second win last week. They rebounded, Carlton, didn't they? They did rebound. Geelong back on track, beating Hawthorn. Good, decent win. Blues are without Mackay, so they are heavily relying on Curnow still. Catsford, Cameron Hawkins, tough to stop. Cameron and Hawkins playing really, really well at the moment. And I think Geelong's experience, late game composure, that should edge it. And I don't think it'll be a ridiculous win. I'm going to go with a Geelong win here by 8. Yeah, by 8. Okay, next up, last one is at Marvel, Hawthorn versus West Coast. Now, Hawthorn started off insanely well. They have lost their last 2 games. And, you know, the game before, they were awful. This one last week, yeah, it was tight, but still not good enough. They did almost upset them, though. Almost. They showed a little bit of fight. West Coast, they may have narrowly lost to Essendon, but Hawthorn on paper at the moment are now a better side than Essendon. Eagles, they're missing Sheed, Yao, and quite a few others. That's just to name a couple. And you've got Hawks have rising midfields, don't they? Eagles low on experience, and so it is all pointing to Hawks. Playing at Marvel as well, that's going to allow for Hawks speed and ball use for sure. So last pick, I'm going to do Hawthorn here by 27. So the picks for this week: D's by 25, Pies by 22, Freo by 12, Lions by 32, Port by 45, GWS by 10, Swans by 12, Cats by 8, and Hawthorn by 27. Once again, there are games that could go either way. It's been a strange season with some strange results. It makes it very difficult to tip. Well done for you guys that are doing really, really well, especially that top 10. Well done to you, but there is plenty of time left for things to change. Thank you so much. If you want to support the channel, please do hit that like button and subscribe. When I do these live watch-alongs, make sure you come along and join the chat as well while we watch the game we love, AFL. So thank you so much. I will catch you next time.